Jerusalem Talmud Yomi, Tractate Orlah, Chapter 1, Mishnah 1, and in the first halacha, Part 3, with the words Rabbi Zera Bai. Rabbi Zera asked, one understands if the lower part is for offense, but the upper part is for food, but the lower part for food, but the upper part as offense, it grows out of something forbidden, and you say so. Rabbi Zera follows his own opinion, as Rabbi Zera said in the name of Rabbi Yonasan, Rabbi Jonathan, and an onion from kilayim, which is mixed items, mixed items. An onion from kilayim in a vineyard, which he removes from the soil and planted anew, is forbidden even if it increases manifold, since growth of what is forbidden can never justify forbidden produce. If he planted as a fence and then thought to use it for food, it goes after his thought. If he first thought to use it for food and then thought to use it as a fence, his intent cannot be accepted. If he planted it as a fence the first year and afterwards thought to use it for food, since the thought to obligate it is obligated. But did we not state, Rabbi Yossi says, even if the inner part is for food and the outer part as a fence, the inner part is obligated but the outer is exempt? There, what is for food is always for food, for offense, always for offense. But here, since he proceeded with a thought of obligation, it is obligated. If he planted as a fence for 3 years, afterwards thought to use it for food, and it grew more, Rabbi Jeremiah said the addition is exempt. Rabbi Abba said the addition is obligated. Rabbi Yossi said the opinion of Rabbi Jeremiah seems to be difficult, but it is only reasonable, as we have stated, if a field became 1/3 ripe in the possession of a Gentile, and a Jew bought it. Rabbi Akiva says the addition is exempt, but the sages say the addition is obligated. In our case, the stem is exempt and its addition should be obligated. Rabbi Yochanan said the words of Rabbi Yishmael, anything not subject to Orlah is not subject to the 4th year. Kol she'ein lo Orlah, ein lo revai. Rabbi Yochanan asked, until it was subject to Orlah for 3 years. Rabbi Jonah said, he asked about the principle of Orlah, and no principle of Orlah is less than 3 years. Rabbi Yossi said he asked about the principle of the 4th year. Anything not having 3 years is not subject to Orlah and not subject to the 4th year. It was stated, if a tree is partially planted in the land and partially outside the land, since it is partially planted in the land, it is as if completely planted in the land. The words of Rebbe. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, the part planted in the land is obligated, the part planted outside the land is free. Rabbi Abahu in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. It is as if tevel and tithe are mixed together. Rabbi Zera in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, an exempt root exempts. Is that following Rebbe who says roots live off one another? It is the opinion of everybody. Here, an exempt root exempts. When you say that an exempt root exempts, you deal with an old root that expanded from its own ground to that of another's. But if it extended from outside the land into the land, it does not apply. An exempt root exempts. But did we not state, Rabbi Yossi says, even if the inner part is for food, the outer part as fence, the inner part is obligated, but the outer is exempt? Should not the outer part make the inner exempt? Rabbi Zera said it anonymously. Rebbe in the name of Rabbi La. Rabbi La. In the name of Rabbi, interesting name, Rabbi La. Ravla. In the name of Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Law in the name of Rabbi Elazar, yeah. He might think about it to obligate it. Rabbi Yossi, B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yossi in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Roots do not count. Rabbi Zera said to Rabbi Asi, Rabbi Zera said to Rabbi Yassa, did you hear that explicitly from Rabbi Yochanan? Or did you discuss Orlah, and this came up, relating to first fruits, when he said that roots do not count? Rabbi Zera said, what we say, roots do not count if the roots spread from outside the land into the land. But when they spread from the land to outside the land, they do count. If they go from outside to inside, they don't count. But if they go from inside to outside, then they do count. If one bounded to an old tree, it is exempt. To a tree outside the land, it is exempt. To a dedicated tree, it is obligated. To the lower or upper part is obligated. To a dedicated tree, it is obligated because one might redeem it and make it obligated. To the lower part, it is obligated because he might think about and obligate it. Does Rabbi Yossi follow Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel? He might even hold with Rebbe. Orlah depends on one's intention. Tithes do not depend on his intention.